We want to talk with you about the books that feed your imagination and the vices that spark your soul.
We drink, we curse, we read things. Come sit by us. Expect no judgment, just good times.
Welcome to Paper and Vices. Books reviewed, vices indulged.
Mature content warning.
I am Victoria Papers.
And I am Vices.
And I didn't think ahead to this part. It's not, I was going to say, and it's Tuesday. But that's a lie. We don't record these on Tuesday. And we're liars. Yeah. How are you? Let's go with how you are. Let's go there.
I'm pretty good. I had a chance to go visit Savannah a few weeks after you did, which was kind of cool. So getting back from that is kind of like, it was like this really cool, restful, chill time with my mama. And then, but like, usually my interaction with her is surrounding my children. So now it's like weird to get back into like normal life vibe of like, instead of like, hey, let's plan this trip, it's like, hey, can you watch my kids while I run to this doctor's appointment? So, but
that's cool though that you got to reconnect. Did you have the spiced lavender mocha?
I didn't, and it was an option because that was at Colin's Quarters, I think, right?
Yeah. Did you have something from there? Because they were so good.
Yeah, I that was our meal on the way out. I had a White Russian for breakfast. So,
bless. Totally
it was on the
acceptable.
breakfast menu. You know what? I have to say, I am so glad we went on Sunday before we left, though, because in the city of Savannah, it is illegal to sell alcohol in restaurants before 11 a.m. or something.
Yep.
So
it is in North Carolina before 10 a.m.
Is it really? Oh. So
it might just be 10 a.m. on Sundays.
Yeah, it's just I think it's just on Sundays in Savannah. So
yeah, because I've had a mimosa before 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool though because they had I placed it with the waitress and she's like, well, she's like, I will put that in at 11. I got you. And then at 11 o'clock, this guy runs through the restaurant ringing this loud ass cowbell, going woo, sounding the alarm that it's officially.
That
I'm like, what?
Amazing.
I was like looking around, like, the hell is this fool doing? Like, what is? I'm like, oh, it's
that
11.
Is amazing. Look, I know that the Southern United States has a history of I think the way to put it is straight up motherfucking evil. But there is some fantastic colloquial weirdness that happens in the South. It's just like, yeah. This is amazing. I'm glad you had a good time, and I'm glad you got to go to Colin's Corner because it was It was so good. If y'all ever go, either get a White Russian or a spiced lavender mocha, which is as good as it could possibly be. Because when you have things with lavender, sometimes it's too bright and too herbaceous, but it's really well balanced. And now I want one.
Now you have to drive back to Savannah.
Instead, I will settle for my Siren Chain Quad Decaf Latte.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's way after 9 p.m. We're having decaf.
Yep. I've actually been having like half calf in the morning for reasons, but it's really cool because I found so Victoria recommended the Trader Joe's decaf, and Trader Joe's is on the other side of fucking town, so I haven't been there yet, but I'm going to get it. So I ran to Whole Foods and just got the really good decaf blend there.
Their stuff is really good too.
Yeah.
The thing with Trader Joe's is it's literally 50% of the price.
Yeah. No, I don't doubt it. It's just getting there that's the problem. So,
Oh yeah.
But it really, I was kind of surprised how well it balances with the fully leaded caffeine that I'm using, coffee that I'm using. So, and the beans are like super oily. It makes me happy.
Yeah. I love a good oily bean.
Yeah.
And I know there are people out there right now that are cringing that are like, when you burn your coffee until the oils come out, you miss the nuance of flavor. All right, I'm going to say something really unpopular because there's this trend that we don't roast our coffee past medium.
Hmm.
Half of those flavors you like are acid. And if you are a super taster, after a point, a level of acid is just all gas station coffee. All of it.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, bright notes of fruit and pomegranate with an acidic finish on the tongue. It tastes like gas station coffee, okay? I can taste when the tannins in tea start to turn. I don't mean to be a picky bitch, but roast it until it's dark. I understand it's going to taste like burnt coffee, except not, because coffee that burns in the pot, that burns the oils, actually tastes different. Just roast my coffee until it's as dark as my soul and as shiny as my hair. Thank you. It was a problem in Savannah because I would be like, hey, give me your dark roast. And it would be like, this is a blonde roast. Okay. And I get it. There are subtle changes in flavor, but when you're really sensitive to certain flavors or your tummy is really sensitive to like anything acidic, just don't. Just don't. And I know they say that like, if you over roast coffee, it's actually more acidic. No, it mellows out the acid when you brew it. Thank you. It's not. It tastes different. Anyway, that's my coffee rant.
I just learned a whole lot.
Oily beans are good.
Oily beans are good. Yep.
That's all you need to know. So, my husband he only gets it during the winter months, but there's this company called Ezra Zion Cigars, and they make some of the best fucking cigars. And every time they release a new collection or flavor, it's sold out within like a few hours. And they have they've started doing, is it whiskey or bourbon and coffee and some sort of hard liquor. And so during the winter months he smokes. When it's hot out he doesn't smoke, but when it's like less than 65 degrees on the back deck, he'll go out and have a cigar and play Among Us. It's vital. It's a good time. Self-care. And so you can sign up, and for like $50 a month, you get a pound of their coffee and 5 random cigars. And it's cool because a lot of them have like little charms on them. So I've got like a little tiny dish full of cigar charms that I need to bead onto a necklace or a bracelet or something. And I get so excited when the coffee comes in and the beans are shiny. I sent you one of their bags of coffee.
Was it the one with like the girl on it?
Yes. Yeah.
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 It was really good. I tore through that bag so fucking quick. It was so good.
And they sent one this month, and this is probably his last month getting it, which makes me sad. Because there's been one bag of coffee out of 6 months that I haven't liked. And I get so excited because I rip it open and I'm like, shiny beans!
That's gonna be a clip.
So yeah. When you're over 30 at any point, sometimes you just have to do half calf if you still desire to have a GI tract when you're 50.
Details, you know.
Fucking hell. Like, could we not have evolved with the coffee plant for this? Whatever. It's fine. What are you drinking tonight?
Man. I am drinking some random bottle of wine that magically showed up on my counter called Firestone. I asked my husband, I'm like, where did this come from? And he's like, I buy you random bottles of wine, and you just and I'm like, that's true, but
that's a
like,
good
usually
marriage.
I request it.
That's a good marriage.
It is. I will keep him, but like usually I run out, and then like I have to like ask him to pick some up like while he's out. But this time it was unprompted. He's just like, I'm just gonna buy it before she asks. I'm like, okay.
That's love.
But it is. I have cut back a lot on my wine consumption.
You have.
Which is cool.
You really have, especially since October.
Yeah. It's good because it lasts longer and is cheaper that way.
I just started reading Hunt the Stars by Jessie Mihalik. And I'm like 3 chapters in. First of all, it's well written. Like, the dialogue flows naturally. And the characters seem to have fully formed personalities. No one seems to just be a placeholder, which is cool. I love me a good spaceship romance. And a lot of...
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of spaceship... And I don't care if it's like... Well, the woman is always human. I don't know why, but the woman is always human. And the guy is like, can be human or can be a variant of human. So like, maybe he's human, but he has dragon wings. Maybe he's human, but he's blue. Maybe he's human, but he sees in the dark and drinks blood. Maybe he's human, but he has telepathic abilities and is 2 inches taller than normal humans and has cheekbones you could cut glass with. But they're all some form of human.
Yes.
Most of the stories that I read in this genre are self-published. We've talked about Ruby Dixon, who does the Ice Planet Barbarians, which are, they crash land on this planet with giant blue dudes with vibrating dicks. And then,
yes,
but she has another one that's kind of like an offshoot in the same universe about a set of brothers that are basically pirates that I really like a lot more because it's like space adventure, pew pew. Also, I love you. Look, tropes are tropes for a reason, and that's because we like reading them over and over and over again. There's nothing wrong with a good trope. This is not self-published. This is published by Harper Voyager. I actually found out about it because Alona Andrews is apparently friends with the author, and she recommended it on her blog. And she said that it was a nice read, and that some of it was like little slice of life moments, like cooking in the kitchen together or whatever. Which,
oh, cute.
Yeah, I'm totally down with. I love little slice of life moments or a little bit of fan service. That's my jam. And this book is over 400 pages. It is a trope that I love. I can tell only a few chapters in that I enjoy the writing style. So it's just like, it's the first in a 2-part series. It came out on February 1st. The second one will come out on July 12th. But I'm just really looking forward to it. Like, you know, when you go to the Cheesecake Factory, like when we go to the Cheesecake Factory, we know we're going to order a lot of food and we're going to be sitting there eating and happy for a long ass time.
Yes.
And it's,
I know these feels
like,
so good.
You're excited and you're pacing yourself.
Yes.
It's that kind of situation, but for a book. So I'm very excited. And I'm going to try and pace myself.
Yeah. We'll see how that works,
We'll see how that works. What are you reading, or what have you finished? Because I know you were trying to go through your 2BR pile on your side table.
Yes. So I actually was like, I will finish this book before we record, which didn't happen, but I'm so fucking close. Like, it's to the point where I'm like, I could clean the kitchen and wake up happy to a clean kitchen. Or I could stay up until 2 a.m. and finish this book and wake up tired but happy that I completed a really good book. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to choose option B. So, yeah, I'm really close to the end.
Because here's the thing. If you don't, the kitchen will still be dirty tomorrow by the time you go to bed.
It's never... Kitchens are so fucking ungrateful. Like, I love them because you can make yummy food, but...
I hate this shit. Like,
fuck kitchens.
My biggest gripe with our tiny kitchen is that it has zero grace for anything being dirty. Like, if you want to cook a full meal that needs a chopping board at any point, you have to clean the whole thing first. And I'm just like, fuck this noise. Fuck it.
Yeah. What I'm realizing, because like our kitchen has like a pretty good sized island, is that we pile school shit. Like the kids dump their bags there, and then like my husband and I will dump like our work stuff there, and then it becomes just an extension of like you have half kitchen shit with like just random supplies that don't fucking belong in the kitchen.
Everybody has these places in their house, and if you don't, it's because fuck you, I guess. But it's like these places where shit just collects. Like I told my husband, I'm like, if we ever build a house, I need like the laundry or the utility room to be huge, and I need like a place, like a cubby or a big ass drawer or something for gifts that I need to send to people in the future, or like stuff waiting to go to the mailbox, because inevitably I have a bag of shit to send to you sitting by the front door. I have a bag of shit to send to my mother-in-law sitting by the front door. And he's like, no, we don't need that. That's things that shouldn't happen. And I'm like, okay, but we can have the conversation about how we don't need it, but it keeps coming up that we do. So I Like, this is a reoccurring pile I have identified. And there will be other reoccurring piles. They're like sand dunes or little like tide pockets. They just collect shit in your house. And if I can identify one and destroy it by tucking it into be a pile of shit somewhere else where it's supposed to be, I'm going to
Behind
do
a
that.
door.
Yes.
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 So yeah, so Legendborn is super cool because it's getting to the point where, you know how like these authors have these like love triangles,
Mm-hmm.
and like you see a character in the distance and you're like, that's going to be part of a love triangle later.
Yes.
I know it.
Yes.
Somehow. And then it's like, if the writer does a good job with it, you're like, maybe not. Maybe I was wrong about that. And then they're like, oh, here it comes.
Yes.
So
Sarah
I'm
J.
not sure
Maas
yet,
did not show
but-
her hand until the end of the first Court of Thorn and Roses book with that shit.
No, that was really like
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Sarah J. Maas, so she writes.
I go back and forth with her because some of her stuff is just so great, and some of it's like, I love a good trope, but some of it's a little bit too tropey, but it may just be that I
Yeah.
read too much romance. Speaking of her, House of Sky and Breath comes out in like less than 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. It's February that it comes out, and we're in February.
I should probably pre-order that shit.
I should pre-order that too.
I'm really hoping. Like, here's the thing. I ended up really liking Crescent City.
Mm-hmm.
On my second read of it, still don't like the main characters. Like, they don't have the depth for me that they need to. The world absolutely does. The side characters absolutely do. Like, I don't know if the cover of Sky and Breath, well, I guess it is Hunter because they have wings. But like, if we had a whole book about the brother, I would be like so down with that shit.
Yeah.
But like, that moment where she's at the art gallery and she does the super big, amazing thing that they see from across the city, and then she does the other super big, never been done before, amazing thing with her dead best friend. I'm just like, okay, that's too much Mary Sue. It's just a little too much for me.
Yeah.
And there are people that eat that shit up, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Like, it's not bad writing. It's writing that goes back and forth with frustrating me. So, I mean, I'm still going to read every book in this series, but
Yes.
so we'll see how. I'm hoping that rectifies a little bit and things get almost messier in this book, if that makes sense. Like, messier to where we see nuances and depth of personality that isn't a My Little Pony. Stuff gets hard and you have to accept that some parts of your personality may be kind of shitty and work around those.
Yeah.
Because she really did that with the Throne of Glass series, and A Court of Silver Flames is just all of that. I feel like the person who wrote the interpersonal relationships in A Court of Silver Flames and the person who wrote the interpersonal relationships in Crescent City are two very different people.
Yes.
Because I stan A Court of Silver Flames so hard. I still have 3 copies of it on my shelf. I used to have 4. I gave 1 away.
Wow, which is pretty big of you.
I love A Court of Silver Flames so much. And I know she wrote Crescent City before Silver Flames and Sky and Breath after. I'm very interested to see how that all plays out. But my favorite,
that's a good point.
As much as Court of Silver Flames is my favorite book of hers, Throne of Glass is still my favorite series.
Is it really? That's the one I haven't read yet. I need to. I think I should just go ahead and do it because I really feel. I know we were talking about this a couple weeks, and then like I've really been loving the Legendborn thing, but like I was thinking, I'm like, oh shit, I'm almost done with this book. Like I'm gonna finish it tonight, and then what the hell am I gonna read? Like, and I've got like 15 things I've got to finish, but it's so stale at this point that I'm like, not that they're bad books. It's just like I'm like. I've just stretched it out so long that I'm like, I need to just remove it out of my sight for a little bit to gain more respect for it before pulling it back on my TBR.
Fair.
Yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to totally derail your Legendborn thing. It just reminded me that A, that book's coming out in like 10 minutes, and B, she's a really great example of doing that. So my vice this week is my husband's boss who is a pretty cool dude, not the company, who also sent him, I didn't show you this, I should. My husband's company sent him a very nice set of wireless simplicity with noise canceling skull candy headphones. They're actually the headphones that I've wanted for like a year.
Ooh.
They're not in the color I want, but guess how much I give a shit about that. So that was his corporate gift, which is
nice.
He gave to me because he's nice, and also because I got him headphones for Christmas. I think he likes his headphones more than he would have liked these anyway. His actual boss of his own volition got him a 6-month subscription to Universal Yums. Right?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Ooh.
I'm not going to take all of them, but unfortunately he's allergic to cashews, and this little box of baklava has cashews in it. Oh no. And he doesn't like Prosecco,
sucks.
so the Prosecco candy would kind of be wasted on him. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta help him out.
I gotta help him out.
That's your it's your wifely
And some of
duty
it's
to
just
help
like
him
weird
out.
shit, like Japanese strawberry apple popcorn. Neither one of us are eating that, but we have a child who likes weird things, so it's fine. No, but it's really cool, and so I was just like, ooh, snacks. I was so excited when we got the box, like, because it came in late because there were shipping issues, because there's shipping issues everywhere, so we got it like the third week of January, and I was so freaking excited. I was like, oh god, I hope this isn't wrong, whatever, because it's one of those things that, like, I've wanted to do for a while, just to, like, see what comes in it, and, like, the value is whatever, but it's also one of those things that I can't really justify. And so, yeah, I'm super excited. Even if I only end up eating one snack out of every box, just like opening them and seeing all the weird shit is super exciting. Yeah. Snacks are a good vice, yo.
Yes, they are. And you learn shit about different places because you're like, oh, why are they eating strawberry popcorn? This is
because
a thing,
it's Japan
apparently.
And there's a bunny on it.
Yeah.
But no, actually, you are correct. This first box we got, because we were supposed to get it in December, it was like traditional holiday treats from around the world. So there's like these ginger cookies and baklava and Turkish delight, which no, hard pass on that. C.S. Lewis lied to us.
No, Turkish delight.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
And like Christmas pudding fudge and a little cake and 2 different kinds of potato chips, one of which is like gravy flavored, like weird, cool shit. So yeah, and there's information about all the stuff. So that's pretty exciting. It's my vice for this week.
Oh, that's really cool.
What's yours?
So while I was up in Savannah, I learned a new game. It's called Quicks, and it's kind of like, I don't know how, it's a dice game. So immediately a lot of people think Yahtzee, and it's kind of like that, but I don't know, like you have to, like the first time you play it, you're like, all right, it's cool. But then you realize there really is like a strategy to it. Mm. And once you realize like what kind of strategy you need to play, like every game is different, and it was just really cool to learn a new game. So that's my vice.
Yahtzee isn't strategy. Yeah. Yahtzee is all luck. So that's cool.
It is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, this is definitely, you need the strategy, because like you have to like cross things off, and then once you, like, for example, if you have the numbers, 2 through 10, like you have to, if you roll the dice and you mark off 8, then you can't mark, like you basically lose the ability to cross off anything like before that.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, it's super cool.
That sounds neat.
I was excited. Yeah.
So that's us for January and the start of February. Getting back into the swing of real life, I would say, after the month of naps, which is January.
Yeah.
If you would like to converse with us, if you have opinions, if you want to rip my head off for saying I didn't like Bryce, if you have any vices you would like to share with us, you can find us everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Paper and Vices. You can email us, Lee at Paper and Vices or Victoria at Paper and Vices. And we do have a Patreon where you can get basically a lot of shit we cut from the episodes. Yes. And sparkly pins.
Yes, which I really
They are.
In the meantime, don't be an asshole, smoke a joint, and take care of yourself.
This has been a production of Paper and Vices, LLC, Copyright 2022. This episode is presented for entertainment purposes only, and any vice should only be pursued within the legal boundaries, common sense, and personal responsibility of each person. Please check your local laws and do not engage in any form of bitchassery. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individual hosts and guests only, and do not in any way represent the views of Paper and Vices LLC, nor any named persons, nor should they be considered personal, medical, or legal advice. Previous episodes and other commentary can be found at paperandvices.com and patreon.com/paperandvices.